Hey guys, Dan here. And so this morning, we're going to tear into this vertical shaft mower a little bit deeper because a lot of you guys asked and you wanted to know more about it. And so do I. But it's getting too technical for an initial review. So, this is kind of like part two, and let's get a little bit more technical. For example, did you know this mower has sealed bearings on its wheels? I didn't know that. I didn't realize that until I started tearing into this deck. And I was like, oh, wow, look at that. It actually has sealed bearings, kind of like a Honda. And for under $300, that's kind of impressive. It doesn't have like those plastic bushings. But back to what we were talking about. So this is a vertical shaft 4-stroke engine. And it's like, how do you make that work for a lawnmower? Well, in one of the comments, I said it's probably got a ring and pinion in it. And then the shaft's going to go down to a pulley system with a belt. And that's exactly what it is. So I took the 6 bolts out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that hold this cover on. And underneath the mower, I'll show you the belt system. I already took the blade adapter, common basic stuff, and we'll go over that later. And the shroud, the black plastic shroud to keep debris away from your belts and pulleys. I took all that off to get to it. I had to loosen the engine. So you see the engine's loose. I had to loosen the 4 bolts on the engine. Didn't have to take them all the way out, but I had to loosen them up. All right, and then it stops. It'll go up as high as the pulley hits the frame, and then that's it. But that's enough room to get these last 2 bolts out down at the bottom, and they're small little bolts, nothing massive, right? And just was able to pull them out. And once I pulled them out, then you just take the cover off. And it's got a really nice gasket here, really thick actually. And then here's the cover, and you see it's loaded with grease. So at this point, we can go ahead and put more grease in it, But what you have is, like we suggested in the video, in the comment, we have a ring and pinion, just like a car. So the shaft is coming out right here. All right, now if you had a push edger, this is where a belt would be, a pulley would be on this, and a belt would go to the front blade, and that would be your push edger, right? If you had a go-kart, you would have a centrifugal clutch right here. I'm thinking. If I get a few more lawnmower videos, maybe I'll take this engine and build a go-kart. I don't know. But you could put your centrifugal clutch right here on this shaft right here, right? And then your pulley or your belt or your sprocket to a rear sprocket to a live axle, and there you got a go-kart. All right, so in this case, what they did is they put a ring gear up top and a pinion right here. Or maybe it's the other way around. But it's just like a rear end in a car. You got your ring and pinion. There's zero tolerance. They go together. They stay together. And then you got sealed bearing here and sealed bearing here. Now these bearings are not greased. There's no lubricant on them. And that's probably because you don't want dirt and stuff to stick to them. They're probably just sealed with their grease, and they probably have a lifespan in them. Can you spray some white lithium on there or something like that? Yes, you can. Will dirt and stuff like that get in it? Probably not, because it's such a good, well-sealed gasket, and it actually has journals that keeps the bearings away from the debris. So you could probably get away with putting some white lithium or something on those bearings and let it kind of, sink in a little bit. And then you got just your typical thick automotive grease right here that keeps this from, getting hot and wearing down prematurely. So it is a ring and pinion coming off the engine, and then it's shaft driven going down. Now let me show you the bottom. Okay, so underneath the mower, you got your, your typical cover right here, right? Couple bolts, one here, takes the cover off. You got your blade and your blade adapter, your keyway goes here, right? But right here, this is the shaft right here, okay? This is the driven shaft from the engine coming down. You got your belt right here. And so this belt drives the blade, okay? This is what spins the blade, belt driven to the blade. And then you have another belt coming off the same shaft, which runs your transmission, that runs your self-propelled transmission, which, by the way, it is a steel case transmission, which is really kind of nice. And then you have your tension pulley right here that's spring-loaded to keep tension on your belt. So if you had to get to the belts and replace the belts, it's really not hard to do. You just take this spring off right here, and that will come free. And you could take this belt off, and you could slide on your new transmission belt or slide on your new blade belt. And you can get those from the Powersmart website. These are the 4 bolts that holds the engine on. So you just loosen them up. You don't have to take them all the way off. And that's it. So that's how the vertical shaft engine works. Now the question I have is it 1-to-1? Is it 2-to-1? Or is it half to 1? So if I spin the engine over one full rotation, how many times around does this keyway go? And that's what I'd like to find out. I'm going to spin it one full rotation and then I'll put the print up on the video. Okay, that's one full rotation. So on the video, I'll count to see what this does, and we'll put that up on the screen to see what it does. All right, guys, reassembly is the 6 bolts going back in position. Flip the mower up on its side or stand it straight up, whatever, on its handle. Put the black shroud back on. Put your blade adapter, your blade, tighten it down. Common basic stuff. So we're not doing that right now. We're not doing that today. But yep, there you go. So I think we should go cut some grass with this vertical shaft 209cc engine. And I think we should cut some kind of tall grass. And I know the perfect yard to do it. So why don't you guys check out my next video I'm going to post, which is going to be cutting some tall grass with a vertical shaft mower. That sounds like a good title. What's the thumbnail going to be? All right, guys. Well, that's it. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today and checking out this vertical shaft mower and what makes it tick. Leave your comments below. I will say this. The impressive part about it is there's nothing plastic in it. The weird part about it is I don't know. Is it tested? And what's the longevity of this going to be? I guess we'll find out. Always remember, grease your shaft. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.